Would you guys visit me if I'm a medical specimen somewhere?
No, I think that would be really weird.
See?
If the Muppet Alice is on display somewhere, I'd go visit that instead.
Yes, go visit the Muppet one. It's on display. Nobody can find my body. Nobody knows where I am. And I'm in the museum with like a little mustache on. Like, oh my God, what happened to this girl?
Look at this girl.
I'm also a cryogenically frozen head on a robot. Like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to perform an autopsy?
Ever wanted to know how accurate your favorite crime drama is?
If you're brave enough,
Join us inside the morgue. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Morgue. We are your hosts and dynamic pathology duo, Jess and Alice. We are recording here in YunkJunk Studio with our trusty producer, Dylan. Dylan, where can the people find you if they want to record a podcast with you?
I'm not too hard to find. All you got to do is shoot me an email, and that email is dylan@yunkjunk.com. dylan@yunkjunk.com. Bam.
Amazing.
That's
he
it.
can spell too,
I
guys.
can.
he's so amazing.
I
It's
produce
really impressive,
podcasts,
honestly.
And I spell and a couple of other things too.
He's got so many skills. You should definitely do a podcast with him. So today we're going to play everybody's favorite game, Morbid Curiosity, but with a little bit of a twist. We purchased the Memento Mori expansion pack of the Morbid Curiosity games. This is more questions about death. I believe it's 72 intriguing and provocative questions to ignite conversations and curiosity about death. And then we also got their newest game, Postmortem, which is trivia about the dead body.
You know we love talking about death.
Clearly, we have a whole podcast about it. We hope you like hearing about it because we're going to talk about it some more. So before we started recording, we asked Dylan to pick a few cards from each deck.
We have no idea what the cards are.
No, we have we
picked out like a select few of what we thought would be good talking points.
Like a small size stack. And he picked 5 from the Memento Mori conversation starter pack. And was it 3, Dylan, from the Postmortem pack?
Yeah, 3 of the black ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Postmortem.
Yeah, that's the trivia.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. And I haven't even read any of them yet, so I'll be.
Oh, so Dylan's going to participate
We're all
as well.
coming in blind.
We're all going in blind. So
All right.
let's get into it.
Are we ready? All right. What should we start with? Should we do the trivia at the end?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
trivia at the end.
All right. Question 1. Is there a recipe from someone who has died that you cherish or wish you had?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a good one.
My grandma's pound cake.
Mine's also it's my Nana's pumpkin bread recipe.
Oh, I love that. My grandma's pound cake is definitely like it's a family. Like my dad still makes it. My dad used to bake with my dad was the youngest of his siblings and he would like help my grandma in the kitchen and like he got really into baking and my dad's very good at baking now. And I kind of got that love from him and he makes the pound cake sometimes and I'm like, tastes like at my grandma's house again.
I actually think it's my mom's and not my Nana's. So like my mom's grandmom, my mom has the original recipe like in her grandmom's handwriting that she has at her house. And at my bridal
Love
shower,
that.
I asked everybody to give me recipe cards, and one of my mom's cousins gave me the pumpkin bread recipe. And there's also another one of my Nana's recipes is her pineapple bake, which I was obsessed with growing up.
Oh my God.
Like I would fight you to get pineapple bake.
She's going to fight me right now. That's our next episode. Jess fights me for pineapple cake.
Those are like my cherished recipes that I hold like near and dear to my heart.
What about you, Dylan?
Mine is also one of my grandmother's. It is her cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Ooh, that's
a
good
love
recipe.
cheesecake.
And funny story about the last time I had it was it was on Thanksgiving. And that year I ate so much that I threw up.
Oh no.
And I don't regret it because I ate so much dinner and then there was dessert and I'm like, grandma's cheesecake.
There's always room for
I got
dessert.
room and that may have been what pushed me over the edge, but it was worth it because
No.
it was the last time I had it.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it.
I love that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other recipes. That's like the pound cake just
That's it.
immediately came to my mind. It just like reminds me of my grandma. And it's so good too. It's just so like rich,
I
and,
love
it's so
pound
simple
cake.
to make too.
Mhm.
It's just like 3 ingredients and then you.
My grandmom also always, every Christmas, she makes pizzelles for everybody.
Love pizzelles.
So that's probably a recipe that I'll want to get.
Nice. Add it to your collection.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan, do you bake? Have you made your grandma's cheesecake?
No, I'm not. I love cooking. I'm not much of a baker.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend will bake occasionally.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I got into baking a little bit during like the beginning of the pandemic. I got like more into it.
Yeah, I want to get more into it.
Yeah, me too. I like making banana bread, which is the recipe I gave you.
I can't wait. I have so many new
shower.
recipes now.
Yeah.
I can't wait to make all of them.
Yeah, banana bread's a good one. But that's not, my dad makes that, but my dad is still with us. Yeah. All right, are we ready for the next one?
All right. When is it appropriate to inform someone of a death via text?
God.
Ooh.
I don't think that's text worthy.
It depends on like the person's relationship to
Yeah.
the person who died. Like if they're close to them, I'm not gonna text them that. I'm gonna either go to them and tell them in person or call them.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like, hey, you know that one person who you haven't talked to in a while, whose great aunt you kind of knew, I might just be like, hey, just so you know, this person passed away. Maybe send your condolences to so and so if it's like a mutual friend.
There's been a few times that like my fiance Dom has texted me. He's like, hey, like I heard like this kid I went to high school with passed away. Like, did he happen to come like to the office?
Oh, really?
And he's like, I haven't talked to him in years, but like I knew him just through passing. Like I had a few classes with him. And I'll be like, yeah, or, yeah, yes or no. Like we either did or didn't get him into the office.
Mm.
But even still, I feel like if Dom had like a good relationship with somebody who did come through the coroner's office, I would probably want to call him and be like, yeah, like just like talk it through.
Yeah, no.
If it was like a family member, I
No.
don't think I would want to text them.
Yeah, I'm not.
I would maybe
Wow.
call my mom and be like, hey, can you call this person?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, I have broken like that kind of news over text before, but it's been like they haven't talked to them in a while and they're
Yeah.
not like super close anymore. I just want to be like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, this person passed away. But like, I'll
Mhm.
know, like, the person who passed away is a relative of like a friend of ours. So I'll be like,
Mhm.
hey, so and so passed away. Maybe reach out to
To this person.
to
Yeah.
Bob and like let him know that you're sorry for his loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would do the same.
Yeah. But if I'm like notifying somebody of like somebody close that passed, no, I'm gonna
No, man.
I'm not gonna shoot a text. No. What about you, Dylan?
Yeah, I don't know. Like
It's weird, right?
maybe a pet, but even that,
Yeah.
it depends, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they said the question, we're like not even really addressing the question. The question was how long of a time, right?
No, it did say when.
Like when.
But that could mean
oh,
when
yeah.
in
Like
time
I was
or
like
when,
wondering if it was like
what
months after they
situation.
passed. You can be like, hey, they passed away.
Just letting you know.
Just letting you know. If you haven't heard yet, they passed
Now you
away.
know.
Grandma's gone.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've received news kind of like that via
Yeah, my
text.
mom has texted me about like a family member's passing. Like I wasn't super close with them, and like they were like longer distanced relative in
Mhm.
relation to me. And like my mom has been like my mom would text me and my sister and be like, "Hey, like this aunt died." And then I would call my mom and be like,
Yeah.
"Okay, tell me more."
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's something that's happened to me too. I had like a cousin of mine text me to let me know that like, and it was somebody that we knew had been sick for a while
Mhm.
and like letting me, she was like, hey, I don't know if your mom told you or if she even knows yet, but so-and-so passed away. And that's when I would immediately call my mom and be like, do you know this?
Right.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. But yeah. Maybe if it's a pet, that's a good point.
Yeah, that actually that happened recently to
Oh, I'm
me.
sorry.
That's okay. He was 17.
Damn.
Oh,
so
that's a long
yeah,
life.
yeah. He lived a long, happy life.
Yeah.
Um,
Aw.
yeah.
17. God bless.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you guys ever anything been made aware to you through social media?
Yes.
Mhm.
Isn't that the worst?
That That was traumatic for me. Yeah, it was bad. I won't get too into like who it was, but yeah, I found out
you
somebody.
don't got
yeah.
it. It's just like,
Yeah,
I think we can all agree that's a lousy way to find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found out. I knew this person was sick, and it was like they had been sick for a while, and I knew it was like it was coming soon. And like my mom hadn't been able to get in touch with me because I was working. It was the start of the pandemic, like March 2020, and I worked in a lab that worked with infectious disease. So I was working weird hours because like we were getting a lot of work. And so like my hours were weird. I didn't have my phone on me in the lab. And then like I just opened Instagram and I was like, oh. And then I called my mom sobbing and she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't want you to find out this way. Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I was working weird hours and I missed the phone call of it. And yeah.
I remember this kid I went to high school with, he was a class under me. And I had just graduated. He was going into his senior year. And I remember in the summer, I was hanging out with Dom. Like we were dating at that time and we were in his parents' basement hanging out. And like Dom had left to go upstairs to get something. And like I was going through like Instagram and like social medias. And I saw like somebody was posting about this kid. And like they were like, oh, like an angel, like heaven gained another angel. And I was like, what? Like, is this a joke?
Yeah.
Like, I almost didn't think it was real. And then, like, I saw more and more people posting about it. And I was like, no way.
Yeah.
And then, like, it hit me that, like, this isn't a joke and it's actually real. And I recently went to a medium and this kid, we did theater together. And the medium was like, okay, like, who do you want to talk to? And I told her, I was like, I just want to see, like, who you see, like, come up. And she was like, oh, like, there's this younger gentleman and he died like too young. And I was like, I know exactly who you're talking about. It's this kid. And he was like the brightest person. Like every time he walked into a room, it would light up.
Aww.
He was the nicest kid ever. And it was just like a freak, like heart defect that he had that nobody knew.
That sucks.
But I had to find out through social media.
That sucks. Yeah, that is the worst. That is the worst. What about you, Dylan? Have you had...
Yeah, I found out a family member and my
Aw.
sister did too. Completely different case of who it was, but yeah, it's just lousy, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's why like I don't know. I feel like what you post on social media, like despite how personal it is, I don't know, sometimes I think when it's the case of somebody passing, I think sometimes you got to think about those things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. See if everybody's notified.
Yeah.
Because mine was a
Yeah.
family member as well. And it popped up on my social media and I was like, and I was intentionally avoiding Facebook because I thought Facebook would be where people posted more about it.
Right.
And so like I went
But
on
it
Instagram
wasn't?
quick and it was Instagram and I'm like,
Oh,
damn. I was like, yep. Yeah.
I think mine was Twitter. Like I found out through Twitter.
Easy.
Wow.
Ooh, weird times, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Which appeals to you the most and why? All right, this is interesting.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Natural burial, embalmed burial, cremation, aquamation. I've never heard of that.
Oh, well, we can explain
We
it a
can
little
explain
bit.
that to you.
I'm so excited. Body donation, human composting, burial at sea,
Ooh.
promession. Am I saying that right? Promession? I've also never heard of that.
Oh, I don't know if I know
if I've
that
heard of
one.
PROMESSION. And cryopreservation.
Ooh. Well, I know my answer. I've talked about it before. I either want to be donated or I want to be composted.
I want to be donated, but I can also answer what promession is.
What is
It's
promession?
an environmentally friendly burial method that involves freezing a body with liquid nitrogen, then vibrating it into fine ash-like particles that can be buried in a biodegradable casket, eventually becoming part of the soil. So like another...
Oh.
Wait, I want
Like,
that now.
I bet it's pretty close to being human
Like-
compost.
Yeah, I either want
Yeah.
to be either human compost or that. Honestly,
That's cool. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that. How would you explain aquamation? How do we explain that to Dylan? It's
Can I guess?
yes,
Sure.
yes.
Do they put you in a
Please.
blender and then you're a liquid and then you give the liquid out to different family members and you're like, here's part of...
I know it's supposed to be like instead of cremation, which is like fire and makes you an ash. It is supposed to be more like a water-based. It's supposed to be another environmentally friendly option.
On Google.
Okay, what's the exact definition?
So it's a process that uses heated water and alkaline chemicals to decompose a body, leaving behind only the bones, which are then ground into a fine powder, which is very similar to cremation.
Yeah, it's like a more environmentally friendly alternative.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because like the energy it takes to cremate somebody. Or,
yeah, and like all the smoke that gets released.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, they don't put you in a blender, but they do kind of just like, you like melt. Oh. What about you, Dylan?
Have you ever thought about this?
Cryopreservation sounds pretty cool, but also, and you can do that. There are like places, like companies that will do that for you, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, I am an organ donor, so body donation, like
Amazing.
that, and like, I don't know, donate my body to science. Like, wouldn't you guys like? You guys have talked about like body farms before.
Yes.
I'm such a big advocate for body donation, and I think I'm biased from having worked at a whole body donation center where like I've seen the whole process.
Yeah,
and I just think it's so cool to like contribute to science.
Yeah,
in a way that you didn't think that you could.
Yeah, and when I was in grad school, that was the first time I saw a dead body other than at like a wake or a funeral, because I worked in the cadaver lab. And the first time I saw a cadaver, and it's just such like a humbling experience that the person you don't even know was willing to donate their body so that you could get a better education and become better at the science and kind of the art that goes into like autopsies, but also like medicine in general. And so I thought that was just like a really noble thing to do. I'm also an organ donor.
Same.
And love it. And but yeah, I've always wanted like an environmentally friendly burial of some kind. But I also think, and they get into this in the book Stiff by Mary Roach.
Such a great book. If you haven't read it, go read it.
We should do a book. We did a kind of like a whole episode about like our favorite chapters of that book. That was so fun. She kind of says this at the end because she's more into like donating her body to science or whatever, but her husband's not super into that. And so she says towards the end, like, whatever like my family wants to do, like it's gonna be like up to them, like whatever, however they want to remember me. Like I don't want to traumatize them by like So I think that's also something to take into account too, if that's something people want to take into account. But ultimately, it's your body.
Unless you put it in your will, and then they have to abide by it.
So Dylan, you want to be cryogenically?
That's super cool.
That is
yeah,
pretty cool.
Put my head on a robot body.
That's so badass.
I think it's. I'm joking. I don't know
I just
if I would want that. I think I'm
immediately-
gonna live my life and then move on.
That just made me think of the scene in I Think You Should Leave with the Ghost of Christmas Way, Way Future. And he comes in on like a robot. That would be you. You'd be the Ghost of Christmas Way, Way Future.
I can see it.
Yeah.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Next question.
All right.
Let's do it.
How would you react if you realized you were related to someone whose remains were on display in a museum? Would you feel differently if they were displayed as a medical specimen?
I think for me, it would depend what they wanted. Like if they wanted to be donated to science, hell yeah.
I think that's so cool, and I would go visit them all the time.
I think it's great, but if it's something they wanted, but if they were like very in their life, like I don't want this to happen to me, and for some reason it ended up happening, I'd advocate for them to
against it.
Yeah. And if it's for medical purposes, I think that's even more noble. Again, if they decided to do it. But I'm very into like
what if
it
you
has
went to
to be
the
their
mutter
choice.
and then you found like somebody who matched the same description of somebody that you knew?
That'd be crazy. Again, I'd look into like, did they want this?
Right.
Did they consent to this? Because like I would have, but did they? Like, is this what they wanted?
Right.
I'm sure I had like a cool medical abnormality
You
that
like
I
to
could
be
be on
studied?
display for.
What did you want to be on display for? I'm trying to think like what part of
They
me
should
I'd
put
be
my
comfortable
skeleton
being
next
on
to the
display.
giant skeleton.
This is a 5 foot tall Jess compared to the giant skeleton.
4'11" and 3/4.
What about you, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, again, it all comes down. It's like if that's what they wanted, if they were like, yeah, go ahead, you know, and I would hope that I would get free admission to whatever
True.
museum.
That's a good point.
Friends
like,
and
how
family
else am I-
discount.
Right, exactly. Like,
I know that guy.
right, like you don't have to pay to go visit a loved one at a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
you
That's
know?
true.
That's so true.
It's true. I guess it also depends. Like, so I found out I'm related to somebody. How distantly am I related? Like, if it's like my
Right.
great uncle that I've never met and they're okay with this happening to them, great. But if it's like my
That'd
aunt,
be like a cool fun fact. Like, oh,
Yeah.
my great uncle is on display here.
yeah. But if it's like Aunt Sally, who I knew, I probably wouldn't visit. But if it's what she wanted,
Mm-hmm.
great. But like, if she wants that, that's great. But I'm probably not going to go see her in that way.
Yeah.
But more power to her if it's what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one.
Wait, now I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you guys visit me if I'm a medical specimen somewhere?
No, I think that would be really weird.
See?
If the
It depends
Muppet
on if you-
Alice
What?
is on, if the Muppet Alice is on display somewhere, I'd go visit that
Yes,
instead.
go visit the Muppet one. It's on display. Nobody can find my body. Nobody knows where I am. And I'm in the
Muppet
museum with like a
Alice.
little mustache on. Like, oh my God, what happened to this girl?
Look at this girl.
I'm also a cryogenically frozen head on a robot. Like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Ooh, all right. This next one's a doozy.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Would you rather know when you'll die or how you'll die?
I feel like they made a movie of this, of like the countdown of how many hours you have left.
Oh yeah, there's definitely been at least one or two.
Wasn't Justin Timberlake in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
it's
the
like,
thing.
and you like pay for like your coffee with like a
Yes.
minute.
With, like,
yeah.
And you
minutes.
like have to pay for minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've
That's what I'm thinking
never,
of. You read my mind.
never seen it, but
Me
Neither
either.
have
I
remember
just see
seeing
it
the
on my For
trailers,
You
I'm
page on
like-
TikTok.
yeah.
I see. If I know when, it's just gonna be a race against the clock for me, and I'm gonna be trying to like
But then if you know how, you're going to avoid
avoid doing
every
that thing.
detail of whatever it is.
Right.
Like, oh, you're going to be stabbed. I'm never going to go into a kitchen again.
And we're gonna cook again.
Yeah.
We're
Where all
only
the
doing
stabbings
takeout.
happen.
Takeout. It has to be plasticware. I only have plasticware in my house. I have no real knives. Nothing sharp at all. No glass. Nothing.
If you're going to fall down the stairs, I guess I'm never going upstairs ever again.
Have to live on the first floor or take an elevator.
Yeah.
everywhere.
Invest in a rancher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Both of these seem terrible.
Yeah. Preferably neither, but I guess we got to pick one.
I guess I would want to know how as opposed to when. Because I feel like when would get in my head more about like, I
Mhm.
need to do all these things before this time. Whereas like how I could be like, okay, I know I'm going to get eaten by a shark. So I'll just avoid the ocean for a bit. And then watch there's a Sharknado. But like, it's like I'll be like, okay, I have some things I want to do. So I'm just going to avoid the ocean.
Hmm.
But then if you know how you're going to die,
I'm
can you
almost
change
leaning
it, though?
towards
can it
that's the
change?
thing,
Exactly. Like
yeah,
if I know
like-
I'm going to die by shark attack, I find out and then I just never swim again in the ocean.
There's going to be a lake shark.
There's going to be a land shark is going to come get me. I do love, so the reason
Oh, what
shark
if you
came.
die by land shark beer?
That's
What
what
if
I
it's
was
like,
thinking.
oh my God, I
That's what I was
misinterpreted the
thinking.
prophecy.
Like it's almost like a genie wish. Like there's a twist to it.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
you know you're gonna die by a shark. Oh, but it's like a display
mean
shark.
anything.
Yeah,
Somebody
something like
stabs
that.
me
Stuffed animal.
with a land shark beer bottle.
Exactly. Yeah.
I almost feel like I'm leaning more toward when. And I could do all of these fun things and be like, okay, like I feel like I've lived my life. I'm good.
That's a good point too.
I don't have to avoid anything.
Right. Like
I don't know why I
there
think I'm
could
going to get eaten
be
by a shark.
positive sides of both. Like if
Yeah.
they say how, it's like they're like natural causes. Like okay,
Yeah.
that's nice to know. I
That's
guess.
good to know.
Natural causes.
And if they say when, if they're like, oh, when you're 100 years old, that's good to know. Too.
Yeah.
That's peaceful to know. But also, if they're like tomorrow.
Right?
Wouldn't you be glad you knew?
Mm-hmm.
And do
If I knew,
live for
I don't
today?
know. I feel like I don't want to know.
Tough question.
I feel like I'd be so sad. And like my last moments of life wouldn't be enjoyable because I'd be so sad that they're coming to an end and I wouldn't know.
That's so true.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking like
Yeah.
worst case scenario. They're not going to tell me that I'm going to live to 100 and like die of natural. I'm thinking like I'm going to die
You're gonna get eaten
tomorrow
by
by
a
shark
shark.
attack.
Yeah.
I love really bad shark movies, which is why Shark was the first thing that come in mind.
Sharknado is such a funny movie.
My mom and I love Sharknado, and we like go out of our way to find like bad shark movies. I got her like a DVD pack of like terrible shark
There's
movies.
so
awesome.
many.
Shark
There's
Exorcist.
so many.
Sorry, what?
Shark Exorcist. It was really bad. It was like some dude in his camcorder made a movie.
Is he trying to
It was,
do
like,
an
possessed-
exorcism on a shark?
Yeah.
Oh,
And like
okay.
Ghost Shark was fun. It could come up wherever there was water. So like there was a kid in a slip and slide, and it just like chopped him.
So that's how you're gonna go.
Slip and slide. Avoid slip and slides. I mean, can you imagine if it's like I find out I'm gonna die on a slip and slide, but it's like by shark attacks slip and slide, not a regular slip and slide.
Joke's on you.
So wait, Dylan, what was your answer though?
I think I'm leaning towards how.
Okay.
Okay.
So we got 2 for how, 1 for when. I see your point to when though. You could try and like make the most of your moment, like your life. But like, like if they tell me tomorrow, I'm just gonna freak out until tomorrow. And like, what time tomorrow? Do they give you a time?
Anytime.
I hate that.
Probably just I'm thinking it's just like the day.
The day.
Like this is the date you're gonna die.
I hate that. I don't want to know that.
Yeah. Maybe it'd be easier to know both.
That's not the question.
Just give me both. Let me know right now.
Yeah, right. Just like rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. Just. Yeah, because it could either be like a huge relief, like natural causes at 100 years old, or it could be tomorrow by land shark beer. Like,
Land Shark sponsor
That's so
us.
funny.
land
now.
shark sponsor us, even though we're saying people are gonna die.
Morbid Curiosity,
Maybe.
sponsor me.
We love you guys. Sponsor us.
All right. Well, that does it for the conversation starters.
We should post
Ooh.
these on our story and see what other people say.
Yes, we should.
We should.
Yeah.
We'll post these for you guys to answer to and let us know.
All right, let's get into some trivia.
Yeah.
Trivia. All right.
Let's see if we can get them right because we just picked out what we thought would be fun to like talk about on camera.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually looked at what cards
What
Dylan
cards
has.
Dylan picked from that stack?
All right. Let's put y'all to the test.
Scared.
All right.
What if I fail?
I'm gonna fail.
Ooh, you guys better know this one.
Oh God.
After a forensic autopsy, y'all have done a couple of those, right?
Just a few.
No. I'm a fraud.
I've never seen a dead body.
What organ might not be returned to the
I do
body?
know
It's the brain. Do you want to know why it's the brain?
I do.
Wait, what were the options though? Dylan
Okay.
didn't read all the
All right,
options.
yeah.
Sorry.
Actually, the brain wasn't even an option. So I'm kidding. No. I'm kidding. All right. So it's either A, the brain, B, the heart, C, the stomach, D, none are returned.
It's the brain.
It's the brain. So most of them are returned. Sometimes the brain is also returned. But
But if the brain is not returned, it's because we are saving the brain and we are sending it out to a neuropathologist to cut and look at it because that is their specialty.
yeah.
And they are going to send back a report to us. So like say this person like had a stroke or a seizure or like had a traumatic fall. Like we want to know more about like how
Right.
it affected the
Mhm.
brain.
Yeah, and our pathologist can look at brains and like know what's going
Yeah.
on in them, but sometimes they just want like if it's a weird, not a weird case, but like they know there's something happening in the brain, like this person had a history of seizures or something else going on in the brain.
Or like
They'll
some
be like,
other,
I want someone else to look at this.
neuropathy thing
Yeah.
going on.
They're like, I want somebody else to look at this, just get like a second opinion and get like a full write up on this. So they'll send the brain out. But we were looking at that card earlier and I blocked the answer and I was like, what? We sent everything back. And then I was like, oh wait, it's the brain. It just laughed at me. And I was like, I'm so good at my job.
Well, it says might not.
Might
Yeah,
not.
might
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
not like in every case we keep the brain.
Mhm.
It's also very expensive to send it out to a
Yeah.
neuropathologist.
Yeah.
Because then you have to pay them and
Mhm. For the
everything.
report and all that. Yeah. Yeah. Fun fact.
So we only do it on select cases.
All right. Well, y'all knock that out of the park. You're 1 for 1 so far. All right. Next question. Which body part is first to decompose after death? And There are 4 options.
All right,
All
let's
right,
hear
what are
them.
the options?
A, the eyes. B, the spleen. C, the liver. D, the brain.
I think
I think it's. Oh, you go.
D, the brain.
I was gonna say the brain too.
Okay.
You both are correct.
That would be really funny if we were both wrong.
It
I
says-
wanted to say spleen or liver, just like on instinct, but like
The
Yeah.
spleen does tend to decompose
pretty
because
quickly.
It's smaller and
Yeah.
it helps filter all the blood,
Yeah.
but the brain is like your lifeline.
It like goes right away, right?
Mhm.
Does it say any more on the card?
It does. It says D. The brain begins to lose cells immediately after death, sometimes even before death, if you know what I mean.
Dylan with the jokes.
And the liver is the second to start decaying.
I guess that makes sense because that's
Mhm.
that's filtering
filters
too.
everything,
yeah.
too.
Yeah. And we will see that turning green first of like besides the gut.
I also, it made me think of when we have people, like after they go to Gift of Life and they do like organ donation, sometimes like they'll keep the body on life support so they can harvest organs to help enhance somebody else's life. Like then we'll get them and we'll do an autopsy and their brain is kind of just mush because it
Ventilator brain is what they call it.
Yeah, we call it ventilator brain,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just it's been dead for so long
Yeah.
and been trying to be kept alive this
Yeah.
whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just mush.
Mm-hmm. You've
Lovely.
called decomposing brains mashed potatoes before.
It is mashed potatoes.
Yep.
It's really gross,
It is really gross.
but everything is food related. So I'm sorry.
Everything is food related here.
You've been here long enough. You should know.
Yep. Yep.
All right, 2 for 2. All right, let's see if we
three
can.
for three.
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
All right. Most states in the U.S. allow you to keep a dead body at home for as long as
We looked at this one too, and I couldn't believe it.
A, 12 hours, B, 3 days, C, 7 days, D, this is not permitted.
I feel like I want to say D, but I think it's C. 7 days.
It's 7 days.
Yeah.
Correct.
My God. We're so
Says
good at
you will,
this.
of course, have to adhere to public health regulations.
And
Yeah.
I think it's 7 days because certain religions, like, I don't know, like exactly what religion it is, but like you worship or like you pray to the dead body, something like that.
I don't know what either, but yeah, 7 days seems like
So long.
I want to know how they make sure they're adhering to public health standards because like
It's gonna get gross.
that can get bad.
It's gonna get gross quickly.
Can get bad. 7 days.
Ugh.
But I mean, yeah, if they have a way to preserve.
I feel like there
them.
was one case that our county had where this family had preserved this body and it was like 2 months until somebody had called the coroner's office and was like, you need to come take over.
I don't know that. Oh my God. That's not 7 days.
No,
That's
it was way
not.
longer.
It's not 7 days. And it's in some states, right, Dylan?
It says most states.
Most states.
Yeah.
Other states
Other
where it
states.
could be longer?
Oh, I was assuming shorter. I was assuming like they would not allow this.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Shut this down.
Shut it down. Do not do this.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a crazy one.
That is. Well, you're 3 for 3, y'all.
We're 3 for 3.
Three for
We know
three.
our things.
Woo woo. We know our dead bodies.
Couldn't stump you.
Well, we hope you guys liked this impromptu little mini episode
Yeah.
of Morbid Curiosity, the expansion pack.
Mm-hmm.
We are super excited to continue playing this game and like answering more questions about death and doing trivia.
Yep.
I think it was super fun having Dylan read the cards, like us
Yeah.
not knowing.
Having them pick them. I love that they came out with an expansion pack because we were running out of material. So thank you. Come out with more.
They had
please.
DM'd us and they were like, hey, like, do you have any questions that we could put into a pack?
Yeah, they were telling us about this pack. So I'm very excited that it's finally out and I was able to purchase it.
They asked you guys for questions?
This was a while ago.
This was
yeah,
so long
'cause
ago. We first did Morbid for like a mini and we DM'd them to like tag them in the post and they were like, oh, like if you have questions
about dead.
death,
Yeah.
you should like help us out. We're
And
creating
did
this
you-
expansion pack.
Did you submit them? Did any of them?
we sent them a few. I don't know
did
if they're
any
in
of them
here.
make it?
I'll have to
in?
look back at our DMs.
Yeah.
I think I remember some of the ones that we sent, but I don't know if they made it into the deck. But they're
But Morbid, you should sponsor us.
or just send us more
Send
cards.
us
Come up with more
things.
cards.
Send me merch.
Yeah. Send us merch.
But thanks for listening to this episode of Inside the Morgue. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can find us on Instagram at Inside the Morgue Pod. Feel free to DM us anything that's on your mind. Check out our reels on TikTok and Instagram. Check out YunkJunk over on YouTube and watch our episodes there.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back next time for a brand new dissection. Bye.
Bye.
YunkJunk!